Welcome, students! Today we are going to find out how to have an interesting conversation. Let's know about it in detail. The art of conversation takes practice, but it's not as hard as you might think. Whether it's at a dinner party, your school, or over the phone, a great conversation starts when two or more people are on the same page and feel comfortable talking with each other. By following the steps in this article, you can learn to relax and have a great conversation with just about anybody. Find out a few things about the person you'll be talking to before you actually start a conversation. Websites, as well as Facebook and Twitter profiles, can be good sources of information, as long as you're careful not to come across as a stalker. Kick off the conversation with some interesting information that's not too personal. Ask questions so that the other person can talk about himself or herself. What do you like to do? What sort of things have you done in your life? What is happening to you now? What did you do today or last weekend? Identify things about them that you might be interested in hearing about and politely ask questions. People love having a chance to discuss their passions or their subjects of expertise. Make sure that your interest appears genuine. Maintain eye contact and nod your head or interject comments like, "That's interesting." Comment on a general interest topic. Some people briefly read the current events section of the news so that if the conversation runs dry, they can comment on something of general interest. Did you hear about the new underground park being built in Uptown? Is both interesting and informative. Listen actively. A conversation will go nowhere if you are too busy thinking of other things, including what you plan to say next. If you listen well, you'll identify questions to ask based on the other person's statements. Encourage the other person to do most of the talking. Your conversation partner will feel as though you are attentive and engaged, and you will get the credit for being a great conversationalist. Forget yourself. Dale Carnegie once said, "It's much easier to become interested in others than it is to convince them to be interested in you." If you are too busy thinking about yourself, what you look like, or what the other person might be thinking, then you will never be able to relax. Your discomfort will make the other person uncomfortable. Occasionally, ask the question that is looming over the conversation. Humans are social creatures, and society has etiquette that's based on rules. There's so much etiquette it will be painful to list, but it's worth noting that sometimes people enjoy stepping beyond etiquette and talking about the things they thought they weren't allowed to talk about. It can be really refreshing and pave the way for great conversation.